during segments of the game, I thought our man-to-man defense was as good as it's been this season. We've been talking a lot the last 4 days as a group, just guarding the basketball, and our defense on the ball tonight was very good during segments of the game. This Coppin State team actually rebounds the ball very well at the offensive end, and they end up getting 8 rebounds, but several of those were at the end. So for them to miss as many shots as they did and only get 8 offensive rebounds, something else we're really proud of. The other emphasis for our team since our last game is transition D. I know that Coppin only had 1 point in transition at halftime, so I'm not exactly sure the second half numbers, but I know that we did a much better job in transition D. It starts with the communication of our guards, and Mandell and Joe set the tone.
Joe Chartouni, coach, seems to always have a complete game. He only had 4 points today, and you have over 90. It doesn't seem like that guy would be a big contributor, but almost had a double-double with rebounds and assists. So what is it about him that's able to do all this as a freshman, and even when he's not scoring points, be such a big contributor?
Right, and he is an older freshman. He's a 21-year-old freshman, but he does see the court very well. He passes it very well. He is a bigger body guard, so that enables him to rebound. But the best thing that Joe has working for him is his mind. He really understands basketball, and he understands how to be aggressive, and so he really does add a lot to our team.
You're playing pretty well these days, on a good roll. Coppin State came into this game struggling somewhat. What was the mentality going into this game as far as not having a letdown? Keeping in mind the fact that you guys have been playing pretty well.
Yeah, and we don't think in those terms as far as letdowns. What we were thinking about was improvement. And so in our last game, we really did struggle to guard the ball one-on-one. And secondly, our transition defense was not up to par. And so that's everything we've talked about for the last 4 days. And so we did improve in those areas.
Mandell, you had an unbelievably efficient night, and 6 for 6 from beyond the arc is not easy to do, but you are such a good shooter. What's been able to be the success these last couple games with 28 against LU Brooklyn and 27 today?
Oh, I think it's all just confidence with me. Shooting the ball, confidence. I practice every day. We shoot after practice, and even in practice, I'm making shots. So, this consistency is the key. So I keep working on it and keep getting better.
Coach, it's nice to be able to put in the guys at the end of the bench at the end of the game there, and have the crowd be as loud as they are, and the bench be as into it as they are for their teammates who don't always get to see it before.
It is an important part of the season, and for Tom Sanchez just to hit a shot at the end of the game, and for his teammates to react, and for the crowd to react, it goes a long way, not just for Tom Sanchez, but for our team. So it really is great to be able to reward those guys that come to work every day and don't get to play as much.
The schedule getting closer and closer to the conference play. Winning, continuing to win the way you're winning. Does the message begin to steer toward that? Keeping that in mind, that okay, conference play is coming up, time to get ready for that? Or is it still a one game at a time, one play, 1 quarter at a time mentality?
Yeah, and our team is, this is our first time together, so I'm new to New York City, but they will learn that this idea of having a growth mindset is going to continue all the way through March. And so we don't change just because we're playing an Atlantic 10 team. We have to find out where we can get better, and we have to work at it and get better. And we're going to be doing something on March 7th that we weren't doing on March 1st. And it's going to continue all through the season. We're going to continue to improve.
Mandell, you were here. You've been here through the struggles. Seeing the team start to make this turn that they're making right now. How do you feel with the change that's going on right now, the winning, the culture change that appears to be going on right now?
I mean, of course I feel good. Like you said, I haven't been part of the winning a lot of games. So for us to be winning and get this winning streak going at home, it feels good, and carry it into conference play and every single game. So it feels good.
Coach, we've asked you about the freshman, even though he doesn't show up as much in the stat sheet. Jesse Bunking is the guy you always make sure to talk about. What do you think of his effort?
So that's where Jesse does help us, is by giving effort. He did have 2 blocks tonight, and so that's one form of basket protection. He's also trying to take charges. So with all of our freshmen, not just Jesse and David Pekarik, Joseph as well, but we need them to continue to understand things that they didn't understand the day before. If I were to point to one thing, not specifically for Jesse, but for all of our team that we really can focus on right now, is just our value for the ball. So our team is going to be much better as we get into January, February, and March of taking care of the ball.
Got a lot of time for the next game. Is that the biggest thing to work on in this week of practice before Maine?
That's a great question. It will be interesting to see what we do the next 2 days. So Monday and Tuesday, we do have 2 days that we haven't had so far this season, meaning we're not preparing for anyone. Wednesday will be our off day, and then Thursday and Friday we have a 2-day prep for Maine. But we do have 2 days right now where we can really target certain areas. And I do think our skill level, meaning dribbling, passing, catching, certainly will be part of the formula.
Coach, I guess I didn't come in here earlier, but your defense forced Coppin to make a few tough choices because they like shooting from the outside a lot. Y'all made them have second and third thoughts about that.
Yeah.
Talk about that defense.
So defensively, during certain parts of this game, our guys really did a very good job guarding. Now, what's unusual about the stat sheet is we only had 8 steals, which is below our number, and they only turned it over 15 times. Now, what did happen is they got up a lot of tough shots. I thought our defense forced them into tough shots. So for us to hold an opponent to 29%, I mean, that's really a step in the right direction for our team. We do want to have more steals. We've got to turn our opponents over more than we did today. However, I do think Coppin took some tough ones, and our defense probably caused that.
And then you guys, in return, made some threes and got to that great start early.
Yeah, so we do have a lot of good shooters on this team. Mandell's certainly one of them, and he's shooting the ball very well. But I think the way we share the ball, the fact that we had 28 assists on 33 made baskets, you know, I think we're just looking for each other. We're passing up good shots and getting great shots sometimes, and that really helps the shooting percentage.
The quick start to the season that you guys have gotten, even one now, this is winning streak, where it's at right now. What's the mentality right now as far as how do you guys feel with this winning streak now, and how is talk about the culture change just around the campus, and what's the vibe right now around the players, and you know, as far as look what we have going on here right now.
Yeah, and I'll let Mandell talk about that, but in general, you know, this part of the year, part of the challenge of this part of the year is creating momentum,
right.
And that's what we have going. But Mandell can talk about that.
It's been fun, like I said. It's been fun. Culture change. It's a little bit of buzz around campus going on. Like the basketball team winning now, so I think obviously coach has a big part to do with that. So we keep it going. It'll be a lot more fun.